Hi, I'm Gil Crosby, and this is the next in my lessons on Kurt Lewin's social science. And today's segment is on group dynamics and change and field theory. Now, the picture you're seeing is by Norman Rockwell of Lewin with a group of farmers. Okay, it's not really Norman Rockwell, it's AI generated. So, one of the great examples of Lewin's approach to change was his work with farmers in the Midwest. During the Great Depression, the Dust Bowl years, the government wanted them to change their irrigation practices. And the government used Lewin frequently during that time for various change efforts. So the experts had been coming out to the Midwest and lecturing the farmers, and the farmers had not been impressed. So out came Lewin along with the same experts, and he had the experts in one group do the same approach. Just do your classroom lecture approach, and then we'll track over time whether or not the farmers are actually doing anything different and whether they sustain those differences. And a second group of farmers will have the expert give a nutshell version of their approach, including any flaws they see in it. And then Lewin had the farmers turn and talk to each other. So what's making sense about what the expert said? What doesn't make sense? What do they know that the expert doesn't know? And finally, what do they think they can do about it? What ideas do they have for action? And Lewin did that kind of research over and over again. The government wanted groups to use food differently during World War II so that the best food could go to the soldiers. Lewin did that same type of research over and over again with a whole variety of groups, each time having a control group that got lectured at, and a group that got to think for themselves and talk to peers. And so there's the essence of Lewinian change. First, you have to let the people who are actually dealing with the problem help them have a chance to think for themselves about what they want to do in order to address it. If you try to force change on them, if you try to lecture them into doing what you want or telling them what to do, then the likelihood of implementation goes way down. The group activity, group dynamics of having people think together, hear from peers, have experts who are offering information in a humble manner versus acting as if they know better than the people who are dealing with the problem, and the groups coming up with their own actions leads to much higher commitment, and so much higher implementation enthusiasm and sustainability. It's also the difference between active engagement, where you're thinking and talking, and passive, where even if you have a very skilled lecturer, you're sitting quietly and just listening, and you're not bouncing your own reactions and ideas off your peers. So for Lewin, it was vital that the actual action took place locally, that if it was in a workplace, the hourly workers that are dealing with problems are the ones thinking about solutions, that they're actively engaged, that the group has dialogue and is influencing each other. And so with those conditions in place, you're already addressing what he called field theory. So he took the physical sciences and applied them to human behavior. In the physical sciences, there is the theory of homeostasis. Systems are designed to stay the way that they are. If you are hot, your body is going to sweat. If you're cold, you're going to shiver to heat yourself up. The same is true of human systems. There's restraining forces and there's driving forces. And if all you try to do in change is put in a strong driving force and push people, well, they're probably going to push back. Experts or management try to do all the thinking. That's a restraining force. As soon as you decrease a restraining force by having people engaged in thinking for themselves, now you have a new driving force that's positive, and you've decreased the restraining forces, and so you're likely to change the system, unfreeze it from the old homeostasis, shift to where it's now a system where more people are thinking and acting and helping move in the right direction, and then that's what you want to maintain in place, or freeze, as Lewin put it. So there's 3 steps there: unfreeze, change, freeze. That's the basic Lewin change model. Okay, I've enjoyed chatting with you, and I look forward to the next session. Take care.